Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Jessie and this is going to be my first video on my channel with a voiceover. So I wanted to try out this speed build with a voiceover. We'll see how it goes. It's my first time doing this. I'm used to talking on Twitch all the time, but now doing this, it's a little unnerving, so we'll see how it goes. But today we're going to be working on a Storybook Suburban, which is basically my way of just saying a cottage covered in flowers. I definitely had like a solid vision going into this house, what I wanted to do. This is my typical build style, is something cute, brightly colored and covered in flowers and landscaping just absolutely everywhere. And this house actually was supposed to be a grandma's cottage, and it kind of got away from me, so it turned out to be a family home with 3 bedrooms upstairs, 2 bathrooms upstairs, and then the parents' room downstairs. And then I imagine there's like a big, happy, tight-knit family that lives here. I think maybe the two brothers get along, but I don't know if the sister and the brothers get along with each other. And I like the story that I was putting together for this house. And I definitely want this house to be yellow. I definitely wanted to have a blue roof. I love this blue roof, but I can never make it work. And I definitely wanted a big front porch, and obviously tons and tons and tons of flowers everywhere. Honestly, I don't know how I used to landscape before I got Romantic Garden. It is possibly my favorite stuff back. I mean, I think my favorite stuff back overall has to be Tiny Living. Tiny Living or Laundry Day? Tiny Living. Tiny Living is probably my favorite. But just for the things I use in every single build, Romantic Garden has got to be my favorite. And I use this debug fence around it. Let me tell you, this Better Build by Mod is an absolute lifesaver. It's changed my building so much. And having the ability to have everything organized in your debug menu, it's made such a change, because now I can use my favorite fence whenever I want to. Before, I used to sometimes use it, sometimes not, because you have to go look for it through debug, and that takes a lot of time, and it's not every time that you want to go through and look for that fence. So now that I have this beautiful Better Build by Mod, I'll link it in the description. Please add me in the comments if I don't. I might forget. But I'll try to remember to link it in the description. It's the Better Build by Mod. It's got organized debug, and it's got the free camera mode, and it's got the expandable catalog. It's brilliant. You need it. If you build in The Sims, you need this mod. And here we are. We're gonna go into the house. We're gonna do the floor plan. I ended up making, like I said, 3 bedrooms upstairs, 2 bathrooms upstairs, and the master bedroom downstairs. I wanted this house to feel a little bit older, so I went for a more closed-off floor plan. My favorite thing when I'm looking to do a closed-off floor plan, but the space doesn't quite allow for it, is to put in those beams like you see over there with the pillars. I feel like it breaks up the space quite nicely, and it still gives you like that separation, that closed-off feeling. So you see over here, I'm just trying to divide up the floor plan. Originally, I was going to just do 2 bedrooms upstairs, but then I realized that one room was absolutely massive and I just couldn't allow for that. And you can see up here, I'm also closing off the floor plan, and upstairs closing off this little hallway. I definitely wanted it to feel really like old school closed off. This is kind of the vibe we have of the houses we have where I live, is a lot of the houses are very roomed off. So that's kind of where I got the inspo from. And I decided, I don't know what to do with this upstairs area. I come back to it a couple of times, but for right now, I decided to make it into a little study nook, like an office area. I think maybe the mom works from home, so I thought maybe it could be the mom's office. All the bedrooms end up having computers and desks in them, except for the toddler. The toddler does not need a computer. I know we're quite advanced in technology, but the toddler does not need a computer. Anyway, so here we're working in the kitchen. I definitely wanted to keep this house, at least I want to keep the general areas of the house in like the sandy, wood tone, yellows, whites, creams kind of color scheme. But then for the bedrooms, I went all out. I decked the bedrooms out. I figured that the parents were very laid back, they were very hands off, and they just allowed the creativity for their kids. And that's why I figured maybe they just let the kids do whatever they want to do for their rooms. So over here, I'm just taking out the kitchen, putting all the things in. These parenthood counters are probably my favorite. I thought that Jungle Adventure counters would be my favorite, but I find that the cabinets, the upper cabinets, don't actually match the bottom cabinets. So I decided not to use those, but I ended up using the parenthood cabinets. I use these in every house. I should really try something new. Yeah, so thinking about the family that lives here, maybe the parents got married really young. They bought this old house, they renovated it. Maybe the mom was pregnant when they got married, and so they bought this house, they fixed it up, they had the baby. Maybe it was the daughter they had first, maybe the daughter's older, and they decided, okay, you know what, the daughter needs a sibling. And then they had twins, they had twin boys. That's how I decorated the room upstairs, is for twin boys. And then they were like, oops, you know what, no, I think we're done having kids. And they decided maybe 3 was enough, 5 of them in the house, 3 kids, 2 parents, that was enough. But then we have this thing called over here, we've referred to them as laatlammetjies, which means just means late, essentially. And I think maybe they just had a late baby, the toddler. I refer to the toddler as a laatlammetjie. And maybe they just had a whoopsie, they just had a bit of juice, and they were out by the pool, and the kids were out at a sleepover, and you know what, now they have a sibling. And I figured that maybe the toddler's room, what is the toddler's room now, was the mom's office, and the mom moved all the stuff out of the office. It could have actually also been like a nifty knitting room, now that I think about it. Maybe the mom moved her office out of the toddler's room and made it into the toddler's room. I wonder if they're having another baby. You know what, I really would love to make the Sims that live in this house. I think they're pretty cute. I did imagine the kids as being like preteens. So not exactly children, but not exactly teens. Somewhere in between. I wish we had that life state, but we don't, unfortunately. You can see I'm putting down some backpacks over here. If you count it, funny enough, there are too many backpacks in this house. I think there's something like 6 backpacks for 3 kids. But my original idea was maybe this is a really busy house. They have a ton of friends. The kids have tons of friends. They come in and out here because this is a pretty cool place to hang out. They've got a barbecue in the backyard. They've got a swimming pool. They've got a swing set. They've got a monkey bar. They've got all this outdoor space. The kids have computers in all their rooms. Maybe it's a pretty cool place to hang out. Maybe they have actually summer vacation in the save. I've seen some people actually use the holiday calendars from seasons to give their kids like summer vacation off, which I think is a brilliant idea. I actually want to play a game like that where I give my Sims a summer vacation off. That would be pretty cool. I like how some people use like clubs and the seasons, holiday calendars to just make the game a bit more realistic. So you see over here, I'm moving over into the parents' room. I decided to make this room really blue and really cluttered. I figured that the mom that lives here, she's a Gemini, and I can say that I'm a Gemini. I can say that. But I figured maybe the mom was actually a Gemini, and Geminis are notorious for starting projects and not finishing them. Collecting things and keeping things that they absolutely don't need. I'm very guilty of that as well. So I figured maybe, if they've lived here for a while, the mother's collected a lot of things. That's why the house is so busy and so cluttered. And maybe she doesn't have time to constantly keep everything in tidy order. Maybe she's just like a free-spirited mom, and she's doing whatever the kids are doing, and she's seeing to whatever she wants to do. There's flower arranging outside, there's the computer upstairs, there's knitting. She's probably like a really creative person, is what I was thinking. And maybe the husband is at work and he completely supports her staying at home with the kids and just doing whatever her heart desires. Maybe they were just young high school loves. that moved in together, and they had kids and they moved in together. So you can see the house, the room over here is really cluttered up, and that's what I wanted this whole house to feel like, very cozy. And I was thinking about it the other day, was, how the monster sometimes crawls out of the bed and like scares the kids? Back when I was a kid, if you had a nightmare, you would go over to your parents' room and crawl into your parents' bed and sleep with your parents. And I wish we had that interaction in The Sims. If I could ask for anything from the Sims team when it came to toddlers, and especially toddlers, you could maybe get away with it with kids, because what used to happen in my family is, at least with my parents, used to be that if we had a nightmare or if we were sick during the night, we would go over to my parents' room and my dad would get up and we would sleep next to my mother, and that would help us, fall back asleep, feel a little bit better. And I wish we had that interaction where if the kids were like scared from a monster under the bed or anything like that, that they could go over to the parents and the parents could pick them up and put them into bed with them, and they could sleep. But I know that's asking a lot from EA, so we won't hold our breath on that one. I put the parenthood, what is this thing? It's like a schedule board. Like, you can click on it, you can put like notes to certain people, and you can put like curfews. I decided to put one of those there because I feel like the mother would definitely have something like that, we should say to all the little chickadees that they need to be home at a certain time. And I feel like maybe this mom is a little free spirited, but she does have rules. Don't cross mom. So anyway, so we are moving over to the toddler's room now. This toddler's room, I really like this toddler's room. This toddler's room turned out to be really soft and neutral, but I ended up ruining it with a purple rug right at the end, and I only realized this when I went back to watch it. I think in the moment I was actually listening to true crime podcasts, and I didn't actually realize that I was actually going for a beautiful theme in this room, and then I ruined it with a purple rug. You can see over there, when I have a bay window like this, I like to use the parenthood sheer curtains in the middle, because I feel like we don't know, you need small curtains to put there, you don't know what to put there. So oftentimes that's kind of what I do, is just put the parenthood curtains there. So I just decided to stick some toys in here. This toddler's actually got probably the best room in the house. I would have loved a room like this. And this is where I imagine maybe the mom actually put her office in here, because it's got this beautiful big bay window. And so I was thinking maybe the mom actually had her office in here, but then they had the baby, and so she moved the office out into the hallway because the mom was generous like that. And she decided to give the toddler that room. And I think the toddler actually has the best room in the house. I can't imagine what it'd be like to grow up with a room like that and make it your own. Personalize it as you go. Over here, we're moving over to the daughter's room. Now, the daughter, like I said, I imagine she's the firstborn, and I also imagine that she is like a preteen. I'm thinking 13 years old. I would have loved a room like this when I was 13. Fairy lights, pink. But I imagine that at 14 years old, I would have painted everything black. Personal preference, but that's how it would have gone with me. And that's where I'm thinking the parents just let the kids go absolutely free reign when it came to decorating their own bedrooms. And that's why the rooms look like this. They completely don't match the interior of the house, but the toddler's does. So maybe the mom had a big hand in how the toddler's room looked, and maybe when the toddler grows up, they can change their room to however they want it to be. And the daughter's bathroom, I love the idea that this whole house is really pastel and soft, and this daughter has this ungodly pink bedroom and this ungodly pink bathroom. Like, look how obnoxiously pink that tub is with a pink rug. I honestly went for it. I do end up changing it But I wish that I kept that pink tub. So I'm just sticking some more posters on the walls in like the purple theme. I didn't even know what those posters actually have on there. You can see there I ended up changing it to the tub with the blue tub and the pink curtain just to make it a bit more subtle. This family bathroom that I ended up doing over here is probably one of my favorite bathrooms I've ever done. Not that it's the most intricate bathroom, but it's the best laid out because it really suits a family house. And normally my bathrooms, and I feel like a lot of us, we do the same bathroom over and over, and they are usually like a 3x3, and we often just like stick a tub, stick a shower, a sink, a toilet, some toilet paper, a mirror, that's it, and maybe a rug if you're feeling feisty. But I put some care into this bathroom, and I actually really like how it turned out. And there's space for laundry, and there's space for a shower tub combo so you can bath your toddler. And I cluttered everything up. I put toothbrushes, I put this basket of jars. I'm not quite sure what those jars are supposed to be. Maybe they are those fancy shampoo bottles. Sometimes some people, they get like the fancy bottles and they decant the shampoo and conditioner over. Maybe it's that. I don't know. Maybe this family isn't actually fancy enough for that. I feel like this family has a lot going on, so maybe they're not actually doing that. I don't know. You let me know what's in those bottles. Yeah, I'm working on the twin boys' room. Let me tell you, tiny living has got to be the best when it comes to furniture of the stuff packs, by far. But I love the fact that every piece of furniture in this entire pack all goes together cohesively. And this purple and orange is my favorite out of all the swatches. This purple and orange is my favorite, especially for a boys' room, and especially for a messy teenage boys' room. Like, imagine these are the ones that are like 11, 12 years old, and I figured maybe they are really messy. Mom is, like I said, the mom's got no time to see to the kids. Well, no time to see the kids, no time to be house proud, no time to spend all day going around making sure all the laundry is picked up. She is busy in the garden. She's planting apple trees, and she's picking flowers, she's making arrangements, she's painting a new masterpiece on the porch, she's knitting scarves because winter's coming. And the mom is busy. She doesn't have time to clean up, and I feel like she's a bit too free-spirited for that. So yeah, I'm just decorating. Put a picture of the soccer team up there. So you can see there's more book bags. I was telling you that there are too many book bags in this house, but I imagine their friends are over, and maybe it's their friends' book bags. I stuck some sports equipment under the bed, and just that, I think it's from Parenthood. It's like that floor clutter. I just stuck that everywhere to make the room feel really lively and really messy. So I like that the outside, like I said, is really pastel and really pretty, and then the inside of these rooms are sheer absolute chaos. So over here in the hallway, I decided to put in a closet. I was trying to put in like a laundry closet, like the one from Cats and Dogs, but it just didn't fit. So I took a base game one and I just sized it down. I imagine there's like towels, bedding sheets, and all those things just stuck in there. And then I'm finally changing that banister over to something that matches. I'm sorry, I know it was blue for a while. Here I'm just putting more plants and more plants down on the porchway. Alright, so over here I'm just starting to put down some nifty knitting. So I figured that I was trying to put more craft stuff, and after I found the nifty knitting baskets again, I keep forgetting about it in the game. But as soon as I found those, I decided to put them absolutely everywhere. And you can see I'm just putting some more details on the outside. Yeah, I really like this house. I could never live in a house like this. I suffer from severe allergies, so I actually can't imagine living in a house that has this much greenery, this many flowers. I would possibly die. So it's nice to build the houses that we can't live in The Sims. We can live vicariously through our Sims. I feel like that's what The Sims is for. Escapism. I can't say that word. My accent won't allow for it. There's certain words that I just can't say. But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out that octagon roof. I'm getting sick of the octagon roof. And I don't like how it looks. And I can't remember who, but I think it was Plumbella. I was watching one of her streams, and I saw her do something like this where she put down a pitched roof, like a regular old pitched roof, and she put the, what do you call them, spandrels, and just to make, and some columns to kind of blend it in. I cut out a big part over there where I start messing with flowers and overhangs, and I just cut all of that out. There's a lot of this build where I go back and forth, and I cut a ton of it out. And just like here in the backyard, you're going to see there's going to be a big cut. And I would have loved a backyard like this, especially with like all the grass and everything. Where I live, our yards are normally brick paved, so we don't have grass. It's not a typical thing over here. And if you do have grass, it's like a small tiny patch. But we do have an outside seating area like this. Everybody loves to come over to our house in the summertime and come and hang out by the pool and hang out by the outside seating area. Our house is kind of the place where everybody gathers during the summertime, because it gets extremely hot where I live. So everybody's always looking for the friend with a pool. You can see I'm trying to move the pool because I wanted to put the paving around it, but because I realized I didn't put the deep fencing on the grid lines, and my option kind of was to go back and move everything and move the fencing, but I decided, you know what, just forget it. I'm going to use the terrain paint. So that's what I ended up doing. And over here I'm trying to make like an apple grove area. I think it's apple trees. I keep saying apple trees. I'm not actually even sure if it is that. I tried using the debug fence. It just wasn't working. I was thinking about the summer and how everybody gathers over here. Our Christmas over here, I live in the southern hemisphere, so it is hot for Christmas. The weather's warming up over here, so our Christmas is all about cocktails, beaches, barbecues. I like the idea of having a white, snowy, cold Christmas because I am a winter baby through and through. At any point in the year, you can give me a cozy blanket and a cup of hot chocolate, and a rainy day, I will take it over any hot day, 365 days a year. But our Christmas is all about being in hot weather over here. And so now that I think about it, especially now with the pandemic, I suppose we won't have anybody over this Christmas, which is going to be a little bit strange. But we'll make do. My family and I will have a small pool party, the four of us. Actually, that'll be kind of cute. I'm not gonna lie. But what is Christmas like where you guys are? What is your family tradition when it comes to Christmas? Our Christmas back in the day, when I was a kid, used to be, I grew up Catholic, so we would go to midnight mass. So we go to mass at 11 p.m. Mass would be an hour. We'd go to mass until 12 a.m. midnight, and then we go through to my grandparents' house. They lived in the area called Mitchell's Plain over here, so they live quite a distance from us. It was like a 30-minute drive, so we go through to them. It'd be like 12:30 when we get there. We go to the one grandparents, so we'd open up presents. We go to the other grandparents who also lives in the same area. We get open up presents there. We'd come home, and then we'd get into our Christmas pajamas, and we'd sit around the tree and we'd open up our Christmas presents, play with our Christmas presents. My mother would start cooking for Christmas lunch, and we would just kind of hang out. Things have changed now. I no longer go to church. It's just a personal choice, and now my family goes to church, and while they're at church, I'll set up the table, and when they come home, we'll have wine and a cheese board, and we'll open the Christmas presents then. So it's amazing how these kinds of things change as you get older. But I enjoy it. I'm looking forward to Christmas this year. It's going to be a small to Christmas. It's going to be a very different Christmas, but we'll make do. I was thinking about this futon. We had a futon like this in our house when I was growing up, and all my friends, when they slept over, they used to sleep on a futon like this, and that's why I included it. I imagine this family has a lot of people that sleep over, a lot of friends sleep over, so I was thinking maybe this is where the friends sleep when they stay over. You know, they just pull the couch out. I suppose it's called a pull-out sofa in some parts of the world. We call it a futon. So just pull that out. That's where the kids sleep. It's a little bit further away from the rest of the kids. When I grew up, mine was like literally in the next room, like right next to mine. So, but oftentimes when my friends would sleep over, I would sleep with them on the futon, and nobody would sleep in my bed because I had a single bed growing up, did not have a double bed, and so there was no space for more than 2 people in my bed at any given time. So over here, I decided to change out. I had that rectangle table before, and then I realized, you know what, it's a bay window. It absolutely does not suit the space to have a rectangle table. So I decided to make it into the tiny living. Is it the tiny living round table? I think it is. And the person who edits my videos, my friend that edits my videos, was so frustrated with me for this specific item over here, because he was saying that I came back so many times to come and change what was on that table. And I said to him, I'm so sorry, but you know, I actually stopped recording and walked away, and then still came back to the table. There's about 4 times that was cut out from me doing that table and like relaying what's on there. Well, we're coming to the end of the video. I'm just putting some last clutter. So if you guys like the video, leave a like, leave a comment, tell me what are your Christmas traditions and what are you looking forward to this year. I know it's a weird year, so let me know what you're looking forward to. And here we go with the screenshot. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.